Your hometown bowling hotspot since 1984 is ready to turn up the fun. Grab your crew for open bowling, join a competitive league, or just come show off those strike skills. We've got something for every age and every level. Quartermania takes over Wednesdays and Sundays. Moonlight Bowling lights up the weekends. And with arcade games, plus a full kitchen and bar, the party never slows down. Diamond Lane South on Carlton Drive, where the pins strike, the lights glow, and the good times roll.
Looking to sell a firearm? Before you deal with meeting up with strangers, bring it to 270 Tactical. Not only do they sell quality firearms and accessories, they buy them too, and they pay top dollar. Whether you're downsizing your collection, upgrading, or just ready to sell, 270 Tactical makes it simple, safe, and professional. No hassle, no sketchy meetups, just top dollar offers. Stop by 270 Tactical today and turn your firearms into cash. 270 Tactical, located at 1737 Sherm Road.
And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
Here's your 14 first alert forecast for the overnight hours. Showers and thunderstorms moving in with a low of 57. On Saturday, early rain, then clearing and cooler in the afternoon, a high of 69. Clear skies Saturday night with a low near 40. And on Sunday, sunny and mild with a high of 65 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons with your 14 first alert forecast.
From the Floor Concept Studios, ESPN Radio, all sports, all the time. Kentuckiana sports leader, 102.7 WLME, Lewisburg, 102.7 UK.
Sir, Clarence. Roger. What's our Victor?
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Live at 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree. It's one call for injury law. It's FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner here in the Floor Concept Studios, back on the live stream with Coach Vic Evans.
Yeah, we got the more and more Browns Valley truck equipment live stream back up and running. Yeah. Looking forward to it. And I love today's show, man, because it's almost Christmas Day. It
is, man. Big draft fans out there. We'll have it live right here.
Yep.
First round on Thursday night. We're going to run through it. It's like our 6th year doing it.
Yep.
So looking very much forward to that.
Yeah, we'll have the entire first round, and it will be live streamed out there too. Looking forward to that.
Dan Bartlett's going to join us. We'll have some guests throughout the draft night. We got Travis Holtree, QB1, coming in here in just a bit for segment 2. We're going to do a little potpourri, just a little fun segment there on the back half of the program, talking about some high school sports and such. But we're going to waste no more time. We're going to go right to the Green River Area Federal Credit Union hotline right now and get one of my favorite draft analysts out there right now, Emory Hunt. Emory, welcome back to Live at 5, my man.
I appreciate you guys bringing me on. Glad to be on the show.
Man, you kill it every year, man. It's like a tradition at this point. So
it's a tradition like none other.
That's right. It's just off the heels of the Masters. We're going to keep these traditions alive, right? CBS Sports, little football game plan. You can follow Emory out there on the social media at F-Ball Game Plan. And Emory, talk about this draft guide, man. 1,200 scouting reports, footballgameplan.com, man. And every year, look forward to it because you got those super sleepers in there, which is, I'm kind of a day 3 guy myself.
Yeah, that's what makes it so much fun, man. Is the fact that if I'm going to all 9 All-Star games, you might as well have reports of the guys you watch. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and money getting out there to these All-Star events. So the fact that I'm able to see all of these guys, a lot of these guys live before I dive into their film, it gives me a good perspective on, body type, skill set, and everything like that. So the cool part about the guide is that every year it's getting better and better and bigger and bigger. And if someone purchased my guide since 2020 when I put out the first one, right now they would have over 6,600 individual scouting reports at their fingertips. And what's cool about that, that gives you a good idea of the NFL in terms of every team, depth chart, starters to third string, practice squad. You'll know a good bit about the CFL and UFL rosters too, because these guys tend to bounce around and go elsewhere. So it's a great concept that's valuable pre-draft, during the draft, after the draft, and during the season, both pre and regular season. So it's a year-round thing, and I'm glad I was able to finally, put one out in 2020. And this year, once again, it's the best guide out there.
No doubt, man. I can attest to that. And, you know, we got a UFL team down here now. I mean, Louisville Kings, you know, it's kind of taken Kentucky by storm, got their first win this week. And if you're a Kentucky football fan and you want to learn a bit about the Kings, a lot of those guys on that roster have probably shown up in your draft guide, I'd say.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you think about the good grade I had on Jason Bean, the good grade I had on Jaden Sheridan, who I also called a lot of his games when he was at Monmouth, that's why the guide is so good, because we know that these guys all are not in the NFL, but that doesn't mean they're not very good football players. So I'm glad the UFL has started to expand, and now we're getting more teams, which means more opportunities for these guys to go out there and continue to play football. And you're right, a lot of the times, it's funny because people hit me up privately like, hey, man, who's this guy we just signed? Best believe I already have a scout report on him in the guide.
I love it, man. We got a guy here from Owensboro who played here at Apollo High School, a Tennessee Tech offensive lineman, Logan Weedman down there in Tennessee. So I'm sure you'd find him in the guide. I mean, I expect he will maybe didn't get drafted, probably going to be a late round pick if he does. If not, the undrafted rookie free agents, man, that's another area, you know, even after the draft, you see your team picks up, you know, 10 to 20 undrafted guys, and I feel like this is just a great resource. You look at these names, you may not recognize some of them. Let's go see what Emory has to say about it in the draft guide.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it goes from your Power 5 programs to your Kentucky Wesleyan. You talked about Tennessee Tech. I just looked at 4 guys from Tennessee Tech in the guide. So we cover full gamut, man. It's fun, it's cool, and you know, from the amount of players and prospects that have purchased the guide themselves, even they appreciate the fact that someone took the time to really evaluate their film, both the strengths and the areas of improvement. They just like the fact that, man, I'm in this draft guide with guys from Kansas and Florida State, and this guy actually was there at the All-Star game, but also took the time to watch my film and give me an evaluation. That right there is just like, man, I can't wait to get started on 2027.
It was on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union Hotline. Emory Hunt, he's the draft expert. I mean, you get in the draft guide, it's like going to look at your rankings on Madden if you're in the NFL.
Sure, absolutely. You know, no doubt.
Does anybody ever reach back and any player have you ever had to reach back and be like, dude, you had me rated all wrong? Do you ever catch some blowback on how you rate guys?
Not necessarily blowback, because I'm not negative in my tone. You know, I say areas of improvement. I don't say weaknesses. And a lot of stuff that I know, they probably heard already, and it's like, oh, well, you know, I can see that. They may not agree with any rank, but they just like the fact they're in the guide. I will say, though, I was doing sideline for CBS Sports, and I was doing the game. It was Jacksonville State versus FIU, and this was, I think it was 2 years ago, 2023, or 3 years ago now. And in the booth was Robert Turbin. And we surprised him because I had a grade on him when I was before the draft guide, but obviously still doing my draft grades on Football Game Plan's YouTube channel. And we played it for him, and he was just blown away that somebody had a real good, you know, report on him and that whole Seahawks draft class. And then, you know, throughout the rest of the game, he's like, man, that was pretty cool. He said, you know, but you said I couldn't pass pro. That's something I thought I was good at pass pro.
Love it.
Go ahead.
Some guys, you forget how long I've been doing this. It's 19 years, maybe 20 years next year. And so now some of the guys I'm starting to work with at CBS Sports HQ, I've graded their tape and their film, and I always slide them the draft, the report I had on them, like a Damian Harris, you know, or a Ben DiNucci. So it's always cool to have that in the toe. A Cardell Jones, you know, it's like, yeah, he was my number 1 quarterback in 2016. And, you know, so it's always cool to have that. But I realize how old I am and how long I've been doing this.
Wait till you get to my age.
Time flies,
I was
man.
going to say,
it just does,
wait till you get to my age. I got to ask you is, you know, with the lack maybe of, you know, big-time quarterback, you know, it's not a great quarterback class. Is this an NFL first-round draft that you think you could see a lot of movement? Because it's not going to cost as much draft capital to move up, you know, 4 or 5 spots as maybe it was if you were trying to move up and get like an Arch Manning or a Mendoza type quarterback.
I think what happens is, you know, because teams don't have, to your point, don't have that quarterback tax that they could levy on a team that's desperate to get up there and get one of these quarterbacks that they deem is going to save their franchise. But in reality, what they should be doing is just getting good football players in each round and make the team better, as opposed to trying to rely on one dude. And we all know football is more than no one dude is that good. I don't care who it is. Like, you need 52 other guys on that roster to hold their end of the bargain to help them have success. So I think we'll see teams move up specifically for scheme fit. I do like the diversity in this draft class in terms of the type of talent you see. You know, guys that can, you know, maybe guys that are just kind of sort of edge rushers. Some guys are maybe, you know, 5 techniques. Some guys are inside backers. Some guys maybe slot receivers or whatnot. So there's always a wide, diverse range of talent, and teams now can be a little bit more judicious in selecting who specifically fits their team.
As we're on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union hotline with Emery Hunt from CBS Sports and Football Game Plan. You can follow him out there on the X Machine F-Ball Game Plan. A great draft guide out there for you. But, man, you know, we talk about quarterbacks. What's your feelings on Ty Simpson? I mean, you know, you view him as a late first-round guy? Is he going to be a second-round guy? I know Dan Orlovsky is pushing the narrative that he's the best quarterback in the draft. How exactly do you see Ty stacking up?
I see him as a second-round talent, and I see the same thing for Mendoza. Now, we know Mendoza is going to go number 1, but, you know, and that's funny because I just sat, you know, Mendoza where he would rank on the quarterbacks that I had 80 or above grades on. Now, he has an 80, and so he would rank 15th out of 16 on the quarterback since 2020.
Wow.
So, you know, you're talking about the Caleb Williams, the Lex Lawrence, the Bryce Youngs, all those guys like that. You know, he would be right ahead of, you know, guys that I had like, he's right below Malik Willis, put it that way, in terms of where I had an 80 grade. So, you know, it's just keeping in perspective of the type of talent. And I think that's what will get lost in these conversations, because we all want to, you know, people focus on the round and not the talent of what that means. So, yeah, there's guys that have second-round grades that are going to go in the first round, because 32 of them have to go in the first round. But Ty Simpson, to me, is someone I feel like is a second-round talent, one that I wouldn't reach for if I needed a quarterback. Just, again, add another positional player that can help the team better. So, therefore, if a Ty Simpson has to step in, he can do his 111 and play well.
You know, they always talk about, you know, taking the best player available. So who sits at the top of Emery Hunt's big draft board, and why is it Jeremiah Love?
Obviously, I would, if anybody would be champion the running back position, it would be me. But my number 1 overall player, just by who I have graded the highest, is Mansour Delane out of LSU. I was just blown away with his tape and how well, you know, he just performed consistently, being able to play across the secondary in terms of all 3 cornerback spots. And as much as I hate watching corners try to play bell technique, he actually does it the best. And when you combine that with the athleticism, the ball skills, the instincts, it just kept checking boxes. Like, man, this dude I couldn't knock him for anything. You know, maybe you got to tackle a little bit better, but which cornerback doesn't, right? So, that's the highest graded guy. But, yeah, Love, if you told me Love was number 1 on your board.
Well, I mean, it may be a little bit of my Notre Dame bias. I mean, I'm as big a Notre Dame fan as there comes, so I may be a little biased on that one.
Well, I would say, but no, I wouldn't push back, because Love he would have been my RB1 last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's great to see people recognize the type of back that should go in round 1, because, you know, they were having a lot of, you know, disingenuous arguments about, you don't take a running back in the first round. No, you don't take any running back in the first round. You take special ones in the first round. And that's been tried and true throughout the entire NFL history. And Love is one of those special ones.
And speaking of Love, I mean, there's a lot of, arguments about where he falls in this draft. Steve and I have been talking about that. We can't see a team like Tennessee with a young quarterback, and you've got a new stadium you're building, how you can't help that young quarterback and bring Love in. Do you see the running back position making a little comeback? You've had a couple bigger contracts than what was signed for a while where they wouldn't even sign a running back. Can you see Love going? I mean, he goes somewhere in the top 5, doesn't he?
I believe so. Everything's cyclical because, once I've always said the run game matters, and a good minority always said the run game matters. But we've gotten, we've allowed. There's too many people in the huddle now, to where you have everyone just kind of voicing their opinion from an analytics perspective, and you got all of these people kind of saying different things, and it's like, man, like the run game never really went anywhere. And if you look at teams that are always in like the Final Four, they always are able to run the football. And so I don't know why this disdain for running backs became a thing, maybe from a certain analytics company, fantasy football, all of those things kind of play in the loud voices of the internet kind of played a role. But the running back and special backs like Love and Barkley and Gibbs and Bijan, they've always been around, and teams will always in a quote unquote redraft will be like, man, this guy should have went the first round. This guy should have went the first round. Like, yeah, duh, because he's a game breaker. So I think if you're looking for someone that can be a special player, then yeah, Love definitely is warranted of a top 5 pick.
Let's move it over to the defensive side really quick, and pass rushers. How do you view because I mean Reese, I don't know really what position. I'm assuming an outside backer, but I mean get after the quarterback, very athletic, obviously. But when you talk about Bailey and Bain, and Styles, I think is going to be more of a traditional type linebacker. But how do you see the pass rushers stack up there inside the top 10, top 15?
Well, I see Arvell Reese more as an outside linebacker. More so than an edge, but what I love about him is the fact that, he can be a game day matchup piece. Like this week, we like the matchup versus the tackle, so you're going to be an edge rusher. This week, we'd rather you play inside backer because we like your length versus this, middle field passing game. This week, we need you just to be an outside linebacker and just cover the curl flat area, hook the curl area because we like your length and athleticism in space. That's what you get in Arvell Reese. Sonny Styles, you get someone that's a classic inside linebacker. His game reminds me a lot of LeVar Arrington when he was at Penn State, when he was playing off the ball and kind of play a little bit everywhere. Now, I know he, as an NFL player, they had him primarily as an edge rusher. But when he was in college, he was like one of the more feared, dynamic, first of its kind type backers. It's like, whoa, this dude is legit, And so when you think about Bain and Mesidor, those are the top 2 edge rushers, along with David Bailey too. Those are guys that are straight go get the passer. That's what you want in terms of an edge guy. So I love the front 7 class. I think it's a good one, with some high end talent.
No doubt, man. And if you're looking maybe through the whole draft, what position groups stand out? Maybe just give a couple position groups you think are deep, and you could find a guy that can make an impact maybe early day 3, mid day 3 there for a certain position group.
Man, I get asked this question every time I'm on a show, and I give I'm probably the wrong guy to ask because I grade so many prospects that I see a lot, and I see value everywhere. So that's why I'm always excited on day 3 when they make selections because I see a guy that could be a starter. Because I just look at it from a sheer numbers perspective. Like, if every year there's about 3,000 to 4,000 eligible players in the draft, right? And you mean to tell me the top 265 ain't good? Like that ratio just doesn't make sense. So you're getting, and you have 7 picks as a team. Let's just say if you have just straight 7 picks, no comp picks or nothing like that. But it's like, man, I get to get 7 of the top 3,000 players in the like. Of course, I feel like my 7th round pick gonna be a starter. So I think every position is deep. I think a lot of times you probably have to do a little bit more digging to find what you're looking for. But that's why you get a shovel, and that's why you have teams of scouts to go out there and do the digging for you. To find those gems. And I just feel like when I hear my fellow analysts say, like, it's a weak draft, or it's not that good a draft, wait for 2027. I feel like that's just a cop-out. Get that shovel and start digging.
Well, nobody digs better than Emory.
No doubt. Hey, listen,
no doubt.
Emory, the Vikings are looking. I'm a big Vikings guy. They're looking for a GM. I'm ready to get a call in and get you up to Minnesota. Have you make some picks for us, man? But man, really quick, last one I got for you. Give me just a couple deep sleepers, just a couple names that you think. And I know we're narrowing it down to just a couple, but
right, yeah, guys that you have higher on your big board than maybe other people do.
Yeah, anywhere.
Or just people I have on my big board that nobody else.
There you go. That too.
Yeah.
How about Derek Robertson, the quarterback of Monmouth? I caught a lot of his games. Tremendous passer, placement, accuracy, toughness, everything that you want. Wide receiver Jimmy Kibble from Georgetown, I've always brought up because his story is just phenomenal. He's a tremendous athlete. His dad was actually a kicker in the NFL, and he 6'1", 200 pounds, runs 4.4, legit stud. I look at the defense side, Eric Hunter, Morgan State. I called a lot of his games too. Linebacker, 6'3", 230. Ran 4.4 at the HBCU showcase in D.C., I want to say about 2.5 weeks ago. But he also went down to the American Bowl, played really well, went to the HBCU Legacy Bowl, played well there. He is the top HBCU prospect in this year's draft class.
Love it, man. Those are some names we're going to pencil down and see how it plays out. Well, thank you so much. I know it's busy this time of year for you. You do great work, Emory. I want to remind everybody, if you really enjoyed the interview, check it out, footballgameplan.com. Over 1,200 scouting reports. And for us down here in Kentucky, you just got this UFL team. And, Emory, what you say rings true. You look every year how many undrafted rookies make an impact. And you see guys coming from the UFL, CFL that make rosters. I know I talked about the Vikings. Jalen Redmond come off of a UFL roster, and he's one of the best interior linemen in the NFL right now. And you can find information about all those guys in Emory's draft guide. Appreciate you giving us some time, man.
Thank you so much. And listen, the Vikings are listening to this show as they should. My phone lines are open for this GM job.
There you go. Hey, who we taking at 18? If you're sitting there at 18, you like is Stenneman? Is that a lock? I mean, it seems like every mock draft in the country has him going there. I myself would take Kenyon Sadiq, his teammate out of Oregon.
I would even entertain Caden McDonald, the defensive nose tackle from Ohio State too. So listen, you build inside out, and then everything else is cosmetic. So any one of those options you mentioned is also fantastic.
Love it.
I'm a McDonald's guy.
I actually mocked McDonald to the Vikings today, as a matter of fact.
KOC listens because of you, so I'm sure he's hearing this and making the phone call for Emory Hunt.
That's right.
As GM. We're going to start that whole bandwagon right here.
No doubt. Emory, thank you so much, man. Take care and enjoy the draft.
Appreciate you guys. Always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Emory.
Thank you much. It's Emory Hunt there from CBS Sports Football Game Plan. You can follow him at FBall Game Plan and get his draft guide at footballgameplan.com. We're going to pause it for Karen Gross. We got QB1 over here, making him wait over here.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
It's like a caged animal ready to jump in for segment 2. We got Karen Gross, realtor with RE/MAX Professional Realty Group. Your dream is her mission. Give her a call at 270-315-9810 or find her at karengross.net. It's live at 5, 1027 The Game.
It's Game On every weekday from 5 to 8 in the morning with Unsports.
What distinguishes Foreman Watson Houltry from many other law firms? It's the pride we take in the communities we serve, stemming from the deep roots our attorneys have in this region. We view giving back to our hometowns as an obligation, not an option. Foreman Watson Houltry, dedicated to you, committed to justice, FWHlegal.com.
Hey Chad, how do winners win shopping for a new vehicle?
The Red Tag event at Don Moore on 54. They'll be winning, picking, and grinning.
All in one place.
New Chevy Trax, $23,495 or $299 a month.
And with non-commissioned product specialists.
There's no fiddling around.
New Silverado Crew Cab, $39,990 or $499 a month. DonMooreChevy.com.
Scan the code.
We will have setbacks. In our world, we see individuals who have suffered serious setbacks like catastrophic injuries or learning of a pending divorce. We see families needing help when a loved one passes and their estate is a mess, as well as those who have been arrested and charged with a crime. Let the attorneys of Foreman Watson Houltry help you turn your setback into a comeback. Foreman Watson Houltry, dedicated to you, committed to justice, FWHlegal.com.
Looking
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
At Owensboro Health, the people who care for you live right here too.
Our family came to Owensboro because of Owensboro Health.
Wherever you go, and you'll see 3-4 generations of family doing life together.
It warms my heart now when I walk in the hospital to run into former students.
We are all tight-knit. We're like a huge team.
I love that it's our community's hospital. It belongs to me and to you and to every member of our community.
Owensboro Health, because this is home.
That's the sound of happy at DQ. Get white meat seasoned chicken strips with fries, Texas toast, and DQ's signature country gravy for just $7.49. For crunch time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket.
Canty Dairy Queen, with locations on Highway 231 in Owensboro and in Beaverdam beside Ohio County High School. Canty Dairy Queen supports local high school sports broadcasts on ESPN Owensboro. Bring the whole team or the whole family to Canty Dairy Queen for your favorite treats and eats.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Katie Gunterman.
Let's get back to Live at 5 with Steve and Coach on 1027 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner here in the Floor Concept Studios with Vic Evans. And on the guest cam, we're getting used to this video production over here. We got QB1 Travis Holtry. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm glad it's Friday, and this is a great way to end my work week, coming in here and hanging out with you guys. You know, I feel educated after listening to the first segment.
No doubt.
He's always so good.
Now what I'm going to do is, use that information to win a little money.
Yeah, that's it. Get the draft guides out there, and then you'll know. You may have to go back and get the 23, 24, 25, and then find out who's building the roster from the ground. And normally it takes a couple of years for some of those super sleepers to take an impact. Emory's great, man. I mean, he does great work. I saw him at the Combine a couple of years ago, and CBS Sports. We watch that sometimes on the Samsung
he
network
does a good job calling games, too. If you ever catch him as a color guy, he's really good.
Absolutely, yeah. Tremendous. And that's kind of how he builds that knowledge, and he goes to all the All-Star games. So it's always a pleasure to have him on. That's big for us, I feel like, because he's a big-time name. But how's things going, man? I mean, you're still standing, right? I mean,
I'm still standing.
That's right.
No, we're doing good. We're there's a couple of things coming up, which is one of the reasons I reached out to Vic. Is
one thing real quick.
I know which one.
He should be 4, but he's
it's
may have to bend that in there a little bit.
Is that better?
That's better. There we go.
All right, now you're good.
Okay, so one of the reasons I reached out to Vic is, my first race, when I was here last time, I told you I have one in Nashville, which is an Olympic distance, and then we go from there to a half Ironman, then to the Ironman. So the first race is May 31st, so I'm getting some T-shirts designed, and I'm going to start the fundraising. And after talking to a bunch of people, we decided that I'm just going to do it race by race. I'm going to say, okay, first race is coming up. It's a total of 32 miles, taking pledges. And I'm just going to do it, sort of the old-fashioned way. I'm going to say, you can send me your pledges, and I'll follow up with you after the race. Or, if you're not going to donate just based on the miles I finish, you just want to donate. And then if I get somebody, I'm going to set some levels, and if you donate a certain amount, you're going to get a shirt, And then if you say you want to come to a race, I'll give you a shirt, And so Nashville is not that far away. It's 45 days away.
I've got it on my calendar. I'm hoping to get down there to see you.
Guys do, that'd be great. I've got a lot of people. That's probably the one that'll be the most readily attended because it's close, and also.
With Ironman, it's so hard because it's an all-day thing, and it's in Chattanooga. And if you're not familiar with that, you don't know how to get to places to see the people you're cheering on. But so yeah, I'm looking forward to Nashville. I keep looking every day at the water temperature of the Cumberland River.
Man.
What is it right now?
The good news is at least there's a little bit of
warming
warmth.
up. It's 55 degrees right now. So that means it's wetsuit legal. And I have a farm lake out off Red Hill Maxwell Road that I practice in, and so
What's the temperature there?
It's 58. So, so you got to get used to swimming in a wetsuit because if you just put a wetsuit on and think I'm going to go out race day, you kind of feel like you're just getting swallowed and pushed and restricted. So you got to get used to swimming relaxed in something that's constricting you, and it's hard.
I don't know how you can relax in 58-degree water anyway.
You feel it on your hands.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I guess
your
with the
hands and your
wetsuit,
face, yeah. So Nashville is coming up, and so I knew I was going to be putting some stuff out on social media about getting a shirt or supporting me for that race, and then we'll come back and we'll see what we learn there and start preparing for the July race.
Half Ironman and then the Ironman.
So,
and for people that missed the first interview, you're talking about you raising money that's going to go all to charities. Tell the people out there, in case they missed the first one, what charities that's going to.
The whole thing is called Miles to Miracles. It's taking my training and the miles that I actually complete in a race and raising money for four of them are local, and then one is a family that ministers or missions to Cambodia, and they translate the Bible into their language, and they teach. So I'm supporting them. But the other four are here locally. The YMCA. I'm raising money for the YMCA. I'm raising money for Hospice and Palliative Care of Western Kentucky, St. Benedict's, and then my local church, which is where do we go?
Bridgepoint.
Bridgepoint.
All this cold water.
I love when he sat down there. He's like, "How things been going?" He's like, "I told Missy today that like if I drowned, I'm just giving her fair warning."
And the reason I said that was it was the first time I have a coach that's coaching me, and my swim training today was after you do a 10-minute warm up, which is about 600 yards. You're supposed to do a 400 yards at your threshold pace. Your threshold pace is the pace that you think you can hold for 10 minutes. So that's fast swimming. And then you turn around, you get 45 seconds to rest. And you do 300 yards, 10 seconds faster than that. And then you do 200 yards, 10 seconds faster. Then you do 100 yards, and you're supposed to do 100 yards at 1 minute and 33-second pace. I didn't quite hit it, but I did reverse split. I did improve my pace on each of those. But when I was done, I was lightheaded. I couldn't pull myself out of the pool.
I was going to say, Steve, he's drowned just sitting there listening to
listening, like taking this in, man.
So in 31 minutes, I swam about 1.3 miles today. And that's, so that's that.
He did that today, and now he's here.
And,
I know.
Well, and I'm going to go out and run after this. So it is, it's one of those things. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and train more and more and more. The only way you can do that is if you stay injury-free. I've had a couple minor setbacks and injuries. I've had a right upper hamstring where it kind of connects to your glutes. I've had a strain there that I just can't get to go away. It really affects me if I stride long, and so I've really shortened my stride to run. I don't have any pain if I shorten my stride, but it's getting better. I go to physical therapy. I go to Strength Renewed. Ulysses from our church, he's a great trainer, and so I've really got myself back on the road. I did a lot of rowing, and I did a lot of walking with weighted backpacks to do that. So, but all in all, so far it's
so good,
right on the calendar.
How often have you been sitting in court or in a deposition doing work, and then you're like, where did I get this dumb idea? How often does that pop in your head?
When that the dumb idea thought does go through your head often. I get it in the morning when the alarm goes off. Just a few minutes before 4 o'clock.
I was going to say to go run or swim or whatever.
And I get it at the end of any long workout. It's like, what am I doing? I'll tell you the worst so far in all of it. It was we had to go down to check on my father, kind of do a wellness check down in Florida, and we took
one day on spring break to do it, but we went down, and I got down there on Saturday, and I decided I was going to bike from where we were staying. And if you're familiar with the Gulf Coast, we were staying in Navarre, Florida, which is between Pensacola and Destin. So we were in Navarre, and I decided I was going to get on that beach road that just is right by the Gulf, and I was going to ride from Navarre all the way out to Fort Pickens, which is where Florida ends. And so I went all the way to Fort Pickens, and it was nice. I had a tailwind. The whole way. It's about 29 miles out there. And I was like, man, this is beautiful. Thank you, God, for this day. Look at the Gulf and all that and sunrise. And I turn around, and the headwind was 14 to 18 miles per hour for 29 miles coming back. And when I was about 5 miles from where we were staying, I really didn't. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And but you push through it and you go. But there are moments where I say, why?
But you did it. You pushed through it.
You push through it and finish.
And then when you do, it's even if it's just you and the bike, it's a crazy sense of accomplishment.
That's right. You get off the bike and I can't look. My wife is incredibly supportive in this. She knows how much it means to me to do this. And so it does help because I have somebody to, she's pushing me to get through it. And she said, unless you're going to really hurt yourself, when I get to a race, if I see you wanting to give up, she goes, you're going to get an earful from me.
We got to be there.
I'm
like I had the
May
mission
31st.
trip. I was going to Wyoming with church, and then now they pushed it back. So. Right. I was going to leave that day, but now that my Saturday's opened up there, I have to get down there. They bring the bells? What you can bring the bells?
Cowbells and whatever.
Fire you up a little bit, right?
And the great thing about Nashville, you're talking about Nashville?
Yes, absolutely.
So the great thing about Nashville is it's an out and back for the guys doing the Olympic distance. For the ones that are doing the sprint, you just go out and back. So there is a place where you can stand. You can see your guy get out of the water, or whoever you were there to watch out of the water. You see him get on their bike and take off. Well, you go up the road about 3/4 of a mile, walk, and you can see the person come back. And they can take off, then they come back again, and so you can see them on the bike twice as opposed to just once. And then the run is the same way. It's an out back. So you can see them more in Nashville than you could if on some of these that are just one big loop and you don't know your way around and you're trying to
see them one time as they run through.
I'm about to go live. I'm getting all these thoughts in my mind.
It's a Sunday, maybe like live. Yeah, we can go live somewhere down there when he's coming by. And then when he's at the finish line, we can be going live and be like, "Hey, how'd that work for you?
You're still alive. Congratulations. That's great."
I feel good about that race. It's early. We get on that. I think I told you you get on this boat, the General Jackson or the General Jefferson, whatever it is, and they take you upriver, and then you jump off the boat and you swim back to Titan Stadium, Nissan Stadium, and that's where you get out of the water. And so I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be cool getting on that boat and riding up there basically in the dark, and then as soon as it's light enough, they let you jump in and take off swimming. Man. And so I'm looking forward to that race. I have heard that the roads in downtown Nashville, because of the construction, you got to be really careful on your bike not to,
clip something,
or break a wheel and that kind of stuff. So
there's a lot going on there.
Do you have Missy in the car behind you like they do in the Tour de France where she can pull up and y'all can change her wheel real quick?
The closest I get to that is when I know I'm doing a long run or ride and I need water at the halfway mark or something. I'm like, hey, will you meet me out here or leave me a bottle or something?
Yeah.
There's a funny story about that is one time when I was training for Ironman way back in 2008 and 2009, I would go out early in the morning and I'd hide my water bottles, and because I knew that I would need them along the way, right? And one time I don't know if it was somebody I knew playing a prank on me or somebody found them, but 2 of my 4 water stops were gone.
Oh,
I thought you said they're going to change them with vodka or something
terrible
like that.
prank.
Yeah, come on, I would have died.
Better ways to prank me than that.
You carry a lot of stuff with you on the bike, but you're trying to stay light. So there's so much to learn to it. But again, the last time when I did all this, it was just like, look what I can do, and it is it's a sense of accomplishment. But this time, man, to raise money for people that will never know I did it for them, that just excites me to be able to do that, to pay it forward, and nobody ever know you did it for them. So I'm looking forward to that. And whether it raises, $100 or whether it raises $1,000, it raises money for them.
There you go. It's money they didn't have, and not only that, I mean, it's a great cause, and I'm looking forward. Like I said, we're going to have to get down there on May 31st, and go live.
And the Facebook page is up and rocking, right?
So Miles to Miracles. If you go on Miles to Miracles, you'll see it. We're like at 230 something followers that follow it pretty religiously, and see it. I'll put workout updates on there. I'll put information about who I'm raising money for. Sometimes I just do like today I use triathlon trivia or triathlon lingo, so that just stuff like that to make it interesting to look at. So,
well, I think what we need to do next year after this one's over, we do another Miles to Miracle, and we do.
Hold on.
Let me finish. And we do it kind of like Rocky, where you can play Mick and you train Steve to do.
Why is it always me?
You train Steve down there to go down there and run the Olympic marathon.
And you handle the money, right?
Yeah, I'll handle the money. I'll be the agent.
That's exactly what it would be.
100%.
Steve died a mile into his run.
I can see you out there training Steve
I
for
will say
it.
this, that I have started. There's a couple of guys that know that I'm doing this, and one of them's like, I want to do that Sutton 5K. I've never done a 5K. Will you help me get ready for it? And I was like, well, sure, I'll help you get ready for it. And so today I sent him his last 2 weeks of what you need to do to get ready for the Sutton the Sutton Derby Day 5K. And he has a goal, and so I gave him his last week of 2 weeks of workouts, and so
So now you're mentoring folks.
Well,
That's
I'd
cool.
like
That's
to do
good
that.
stuff.
I would, there's got people that know a whole lot more about it than me. Like I said, I have a coach, and people give me advice and stuff. I'll listen to it and I'll read about it, but when he says something, I do it because I know that he has done Ironman in 4 consecutive weekends.
Wow.
4 consecutive weekends.
That's unreal.
Yeah. And when I heard that, what stuck with me was, number one, he knows how to get in shape, right? But second is recovery.
Mm-hmm.
He understands how to recover your body so it can perform like that. And that's the biggest thing that most triathletes don't do right. They don't eat right, they don't sleep right, they don't recover right. And so that is just as much of the challenge. I get down to the end of the day and I need 98 grams of protein, but I'm not allowed to get hardly any carbs. So it's meat, right? You just eat meat. And it's like, I've tried my hardest to hit these macros all day long. And but Missy just shakes her head. She goes, well, how many calories are you allowed to have today? And I'll say 4,000.
Oh, man.
4,000 and you're losing weight.
There you go. You're doing something right there.
It's good.
That's good stuff, man. It's a great update. And hopefully we can get you in one more time so we can really get behind it, before the event. And but
be watching on the Facebook. I just have it on Facebook. That proves I don't have it on anywhere else. But be watching because I'm going to put the T-shirts out there, and if you want one, I need to know so that I get enough printed. It's going to be a nice T-shirt, and it'll say Miles Miracles. It'll have the people that I'm racing for, and so if I know by then if I have any business sponsors or anything like that, I'll put sponsors on the shirt.
There you go.
So.
That's incredible. No, I think it's a great cause, and it's going to be fun. I think we got to get down there for that.
And if you don't, I mean, that's a big commitment to drive to watch somebody do a few things. I know that y'all are supporting me, and anything you can do from this end really helps.
Oh, without a doubt. We'll make sure to put everything out there that we can.
And anything you want us to, just hit us up anything. We'll certainly promote
I'm
the
still
heck
planning
out of
on being down there. We'll
to
go
the
down
month
there.
of May, we'll really.
I'll watch him run around a couple times and shake the bell, and then I'll go, go down to Broadway.
It feels like it can give you some extra burst. That's the best I can. I'm not going to be able to run in a 5K, Ironman, anything like that, but I can ring a bell and help you do it. I guess.
Well, you can hold up, briskly run a couple feet behind him, ringing the bell for like 10 feet. Go, and then I got to give you mouth to mouth or something.
I feel like my sense of accomplishment
there are some really cool signs, and when I did Muncie years ago, the half Ironman, there is this big hill you got to run, and it's terrible. And at the very top of the hill, there was this girl, and she was shaking a sign that said, "Chuck Norris never did a half Ironman." And you're like,
that's incredible. That's good stuff. Yeah.
So
you're like, all right.
Anyway,
I'm gonna give you a little extra burst.
With all the construction done, I want to have a sign. It's like, if you're hurt doing the half marathon, call Foreman Watson Ultra. One call for injury law.
That's a great idea. Hey, man, before we get you out of here, man, we got to talk a little bit about this transfer portal. We've been destroying Mark Pope here on the show, but we never really took a glance at what Kelsey's done.
He's destroyed the portal. I mean, they're
pretty good,
probably
right?
like, if
Got
you
the
had
number one guy from Kansas.
Well, no,
big
I think
man.
you had 2 top 10 or 2 top 16 guys. I would say right
Oregon
now,
guard, right? And the kid
Oregon,
from Knox,
and then got Gardner
yeah,
Knox.
I would say right now, if you put a team who is number one of the transfer portal as far as who's won the portal, it had to be Louisville right now, and they're still going after other guys.
Yeah, they're going after I think Arizona State's going to get that Lithuanian player, that big power forward
Mm-hmm.
from St. Mary's, which he's just going to follow his coach. But yeah, they're in on a couple of more guys, and I was shocked that you kind of identify the guys are going to jump into the portal. And I really thought, toward the end of the season when Brown was doing all his shenanigans, we needed a guard that played with some tenacity, and Woolley stepped up and really played good for Louisville. And I was like, oh, he's going to go get his bag now. He's going to go out and get his money. He's staying, and so
he's probably getting his money. They have the biggest, they have the most money of the biggest roster of a salary cap.
So him staying is a good thing. Left-handed guard, I really like the way he plays, and I just think that if Pat Kelsey didn't learn that you have to have solid big men, and then you have to have that point guard that's going to be present. We had a point guard. He just wasn't present, and so
took his bag and went home.
Early in the season when he was present, you saw the results, and it just it kind of fell off a cliff.
Yeah, it was hard
without
to do.
him.
So I like where they're headed. I think that they're, it looks to me like they're in on the right guys now. They just need to fill it out.
What I'm always fascinated by too, and this is going to happen with some people, is the portal closes on the 21st. Now, last year, really late, like literally 2 hours before it closed, there were guys that jumped in the portal with a no contact list, which means they've already spoken to teams and know where they're going, but they don't want their school to know they're leaving yet.
That's right.
So, you're curious out there if, teams like Kansas and Kentucky and Louisville, the big boys, have some stuff on the back burner that are guys that are not even in the portal yet.
Right. And I think it's going to have to be just when I look at it, I think we have now 5 players.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be some of that in there, right? There's got to be somebody that nobody knows about, because even if you look at the ones that they're really hot and heavy on, the guy from Wisconsin, if you look at these guys, it's like, let's say we get everybody we want. We're still at 8 or 9, and that's not enough for a team, Going
to bring in some guys to fill out the bench.
Yeah.
There's still a little ways to go as far as filling the roster out, but off to a good start. You have to be pumped. And I made a vow yesterday when the show was over, because Chris scolded me about being so negative about college basketball, about the recruiting and the NIL, and I don't want to come off like I don't think these kids should be getting paid. It's more about I just want a more locked in commitment, right? That's where our kids should be getting paid. You made the comment about the coaches being able to go wherever they want and get whatever they want, and that's absolutely true. But my thing is with the kid, I feel like there needs to be more structure for me to get. Like if I'm bringing in a guard and I'm going to drop $3 million on him, I want to make sure he's going to be number one on the court for a certain amount of games. Number two, like, can we get this guy for 2 years? Can we get this guy for 3 years? I don't want it to be like, if think about if pro sports did that way, you come off a career year, you're going to go get a bag somewhere. What incentive do you have to go work hard?
But even then,
at that
like,
point?
Duke's quarterback last year had a 2-year contract with Duke. Yeah, and now he's at Miami playing.
Right.
Here's my question just on the law aspect, because it all ends up in court anyway. But, there's big rumors coming out that in the next few days, the NCAA is going to end up passing, at least the D1 committee is going to pass this. You get 5 years to play 5 years. And your clock starts when you graduate high school, or if you're a foreign player, it starts at age 19. Now, but one thing, let's say this is going to happen. Even if they were to pass that, there's going to be a kid that's going to tear a knee up his freshman year. He's going to be out. Then, like his junior year, he tears a knee up. He's a guy that can't go to the NBA. He's going to end up suing and saying, "Hey, they're taking away." Is there any way for the NCAA to get something like that to hold up in court?
I don't think so. I don't think so. The biggest challenge to that is going to be the injury. It's out of the player's control, right?
Right.
And so you're taking away eligibility based on something that's out of their control and as something that is a foreseeable thing that happens in athletics.
Correct.
It's not like, it's not like it's something we would never guess that, so let's give them an exclusion. It's something is going to happen. It happens to, 15% of starting athletes over the course of the year in football, right? Or just 20%.
Something like that.
15 to 20, yeah.
And so if it's something that's that foreseeable and you're going to take away their ability to have eligibility, I think I do think they're going to have some serious problems.
And I've always said, I kept waiting for this one and it hadn't happened yet. But at some point, a guy like, let's just say, I'm going to throw a name out there, like Travis Perry. This is a guy that's not ever going to go to the NBA. But why can't he say, hey, I want to get like 4 degrees and I should be able to play till I'm 30 because I can make 700? Like, that lawsuit is coming at some point.
And that's the problem with the way NIL started. I think if it would have started with more parameters, but now it's just the wild frontier. Do what you want.
And it's part of the NCAA's fault by
You're not
trying
going to
to
walk
keep
it back. I mean, it's going to be really hard to put the genie back in the bottle. I mean,
is the only way is to make them basically employees, and that changes things completely because then you can get an agency that is a players agency that now you are collective bargaining with.
That's right.
And then the rules completely change.
That's right. And then it becomes exactly what we call, the minor leagues.
Minor leagues. Well, that's what it is anyway.
Kind of is anyway.
Except guys, listen, they were talking about this. Like, there are guys, if you're not going to go in the top 12 of the NBA draft, the best college players will make more money in college than they will then. Now, it does start your clock later to get the big bag, in your second contract. But they're paying guys now better than anybody that's outside of the
you're a fringe guy. It makes
the
sense
lotto.
to stay. I mean,
the lottery.
It just does. But man, thank you so much, Travis. We'll definitely keep everybody posted. Miles to miracles, and we'll
I'll keep you guys posted. Yeah,
and we'd like to get you in one more time.
Be on today.
Yeah, it's always an honor, always a good time, man. And thanks for everything you do for us here at 102.7 The Game. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little high school baseball and whatever else. There's all kinds of playoff action starting this weekend. We'll talk about whatever to get you to the weekend. Live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
All right.
Support your school with the German-American School Spirit Check Card. With each purchase you make using the card, we make a donation to your participating school of choice. So far, through our School Spirit Card program, we've given back over $300,000 to community schools. Stop in your local German-American bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit Check Card today. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
Whether it's one item or 100, Pat Hayden Moving gets it there safely and stress-free. As a proud alumni of Owensboro Catholic, Pat Hayden Moving is honored to support the aces on the field, in the classroom, and throughout the community. Big move, small move, we've got your back. One item or 100, we'll move it for you. Call Pat Hayden Moving today and support a business that supports Owensboro Catholic. Local, loyal, on the move.
Big streaming nights, busy work days, growing local businesses. Your hometown runs on connection, and PSC Fiber is proud to power it. With lightning-fast fiber internet and dependable local support, we're committed to keeping our communities connected without the hassle of out-of-town providers. Switch to the internet built right here at home. Call 800-511-4899 or visit pscfiber.net today. Hometown smiles, support, and solutions. PSC Fiber.
Living life at a healthy weight can be challenging, but Owensboro Health's weight management team has the resources to help. Whether you are looking for nutrition counseling and fitness training at the health park, or clinically supervised weight loss medications or weight loss surgery with our bariatric surgeon, you'll find the support you need to maintain a healthy weight and live a healthier, happier life. Learn more at owensborohealth.org/livewell.
Hi, I'm Zachary Clark with the Greater Owensboro Realty Company. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading to your dream space, or selling and looking for the right price, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. With proven results, local market knowledge, and real commitment to my clients, I'll make sure your move is the right one. Let's turn your real estate goals into reality. Call or text me today at 270-231-1576. And always remember, close with heart.
Tax season is here, so untax it. Madisonville and Owensboro Garage Doors is paying the tax on all new garage doors through April 30th. That's right. We pay the tax. You keep the savings. Upgrade your home. Boost curb appeal. And save big this tax season. Call Madisonville and Owensboro garage doors today at 616-DOOR or 821-DOOR and visit our showrooms, now open Saturdays from 9 a.m. till noon.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here, closing you out on a Friday. And, as frustrating as last Friday was, today, this is why I like doing the show.
We've made some adjustments.
I wasn't in a great mood. I'm tired. It's been a long week. And then today was great. I mean, Emory was great. Travis always
QB1's always great.
And, looking forward to it. I did circle back to Vogel, who we lost last week. I'm going to get him on Wednesday or Thursday, heading right into the draft.
Probably need to be Thursday. Get some hidden nuggets right there.
Yeah, no, and Vogel's incredible, too. And a big shout-out to Emory for giving us some time. Do want to give a shout-out to Diamond Lanes, our friends over at Diamond Lanes Midtown on the corner of 19th and Triplet. You got Diamond Lanes South on Carlton Drive and Diamond Lanes Echo in Henderson. Quartermania every Tuesday and Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. It's Diamond Lanes, your prime time for bowling destination.
And not only that, you can get great advice on your love life on Beyond the Bench thanks to Diamond Lanes.
There you go. You can't beat that. No, Diamond Lanes.
It's Brad's turn this weekend. So
I can't wait. I can't. I'm waiting here to, see what he can do to follow both. First it was Briggins.
Yep.
I thought yours was preting good. Looking forward to hearing what Coach Payne has to say on Monday on Beyond the Bench.
But maybe breaking news for all we know.
Watch out. You never know. Keep your eye on the coaching front. I believe we're going to have Coach Pruitt.
We're going to Coach Pruitt for Monday.
Yep,
I think
Hancock County.
I'm going to try to get Coach Pruitt in here on Monday.
Still looking for
Patterson and Cadell.
I'm traveling, so for Coach Daniel Caudill, I'd like to get him. I'd like to get Patterson. But my travel season, at least for a month, will be over on. I'll be back Tuesday, back in the saddle.
Well, there you go.
But I got to go to Baltimore tomorrow. So prayers for safe travels if that's something that you're kind enough to do. But man, let's just jump into some baseball real quick. Had some big results last night, even though the Lightning had other plans for your broadcast.
Yes, I was hoping to get the broadcast.
Burn that midnight oil.
Yeah, and it just, every time we got to get started, and I kind of set a time, I was like, hey, I got this to do tonight. I had some stuff I had to get done last night for work too. So I was like, it's got to start, by 8 o'clock. Well, it looked like it was going to start at 7:50. They're literally at home plate, exchanging lineup cards. Boom, here comes Lightning, 30 more minutes. Man. And what I couldn't have happen was sit there and wait 30 minutes and then get another 30 minutes. So I had to just shut the broadcast down.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. At Apollo, you got that open range.
They can see forever.
See everything. It's the funniest part of all our broadcast. Our game was zooming along, bottom of the fourth. Catholic's rolling a little bit. And I said, man, those dark clouds that were over there in right field have now moved over to left. And I'm moving my arms around. Chris is making fun of me like I'm Wayne Hart or something. And I said, now over there in right field, it's clear as a bell. And I mean, literally 30 seconds later comes the biggest lightning strike you've ever seen from right field. You can't even make it up. It's like, okay. And they could not help but stop it. But we had some good games. You had Apollo, 8-inning win, a walk-off win. Jagger Pate, who's having a great year, man, just keeps it rolling along. Apollo wins 4-3. Riley Logan with the big double. Milburn got the win on the mound. Gaddis drove a run in for the Red Devils. Apollo moves to 10-5. Owensboro drops to 9-7, but I don't think the seeding matters. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know Davis County's won one game.
I will say this. I think both Catholic, if I'm Catholic at Apollo, whoever you get of the other two, you're going to be the favorite.
Yeah.
Now, are they good enough to beat you in a one-game set?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
I think if you're Catholic at Apollo, the only thing you're worried about is you don't want to be where you have to play each other. You don't want to be 1-4. You don't want to be 2-3. Now, is Owensboro great? Owensboro played a little bit of defense. Owensboro could have won both games.
Yeah.
All right? Davis County just ran out of pitching. Their pitching depth compared to Catholic's pitching depth, Catholic can go 11 innings on Tuesday and still have enough pitching on Thursday to be okay. Davis kind of did that. But in a one-game scenario, those aren't going to be cakewalks. Those are going to be good games.
Yeah, I thought the Lawrence kid that started for Davis County, I thought he was pitching well. He didn't. The defense kind of let him down, and they struck. And I was talking to some Davis County folks, just striking out a lot in big spots.
Yes.
I mean, they've had multiple times where they've had multiple runners in scoring position with less than one out.
Got to put the
and they
ball in
strike
play.
out.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. Catholic got the win 10-0, and
what about the 8th grader? I mean, he's had a heck of a
how about
year
that?
so far.
Lucas Patton 5
he's like
strikeouts,
4-0.
and the winning pitcher last night. It was funny because we were talking about the Catholic offense struggling, and then the top of the order gets it going. You had Miles with a double in the corner, Moser, Russellberg, and then it was just contagious.
Yeah, Russellberg, I think, went 2 for 3 with 3 or more RBIs. I mean, he's playing
a big year.
Well, he's making a case early that, hey, I got to get on the watch list for the ESPN Owensboro All-Area team.
No doubt, yeah. And, for the other side for Apollo, every game, I feel like Lil Pop's making a big impact.
He started on the mound last night. I
got to be careful how I say it because I don't want to make it sound like he's had some bad years. But it's like when he was on and we talked about this the other day, when he was on the scene as an 8th grader, you thought, man, this guy has like Jacob Schuler like potential, right, to grow into that at Apollo. And then it's just a growth process.
Yeah.
But I mean, the light is on now.
100%.
And, I mean, he's becoming a big time star.
Not only that, he's become a big time star on the mound. That was what I missed most because he was scheduled to start, so I hadn't seen him pitch yet. So I was really looking forward to get to see him pitch. Didn't get to.
Yeah, no, 2 great games. Apollo and Catholic both sitting 2-0 in 9th District play.
And we'll have them Tuesday on LME. They play. It'll be the game of the week. Next week, Apollo and Catholic.
Yeah, that'd be a great game there. And maybe they split. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like it's pretty close there between those teams. Davis County girls beat Apollo softball 5-0. But shout out to Julian, man. She held Davis County to 7 hits. I know that sounds crazy, but a hit an inning, I mean, you'll take it. I feel
100%.
You just couldn't push any across. Story Hume was tremendous. She only gave up 2 hits. It doesn't matter if she, gave up 2 hits. I mean, Julian, you just have to have some offense.
Well, Lord.
And no matter how good Davis County is offensively, I mean, they're pitching shutouts.
Yeah,
so, what are you going to do? I mean, Bennett went 3 for 4, hit a bomb, 3 runs driven in. Molly Hancock stays red hot, 2 hits and a run driven in. They're 15-1. Meade County beat Male 7-1. They're 13-5. How about Trinity and Hancock, man? You talk about 2 teams that have hooked up in some classics.
Man, they played 3 games now. I think that's been total of 4 runs separating the 2.
Total, yeah.
Trinity's 2-1 in the games, but Hancock has the big one, the All-A Regional Championship.
Is there anything behind us? Because I'm not going to go very long.
No, go
okay, I just
ahead.
want to make sure
We'll
we're going just a tad
do
bit
whatever
long.
we want.
QB1 was here today.
It's our show.
It's on him today.
Yeah,
right?
it's our show.
That's right. Travis Holdridge's going to pay for the
It's
next
just the NBA
10
draft.
minutes.
It's the NBA playoffs on after us. Who cares?
I mean, nobody watches the first quarter of the NBA.
There
It's
you
like
go.
NASCAR.
It doesn't matter.
You watch the fourth quarter, and that's all you need in the NBA. But man, you look around. Henderson beat Union County 15-0. They're 12-4. Catholic beat Breck. They're 8-7, and Edmondson beat Russellville 8-8. And we mentioned it, right? I mean, the playoffs start in the NBA this weekend. You got the 2 playing games going on now. Tonight, you got a couple teams playing: Suns and Warriors in the West, Magic and Hornets in the East.
Yeah, we've got
neither team has a shot in the first.
Playoff will follow us. Then on Saturday, you got baseball in the morning at 11, and then you got the playoffs tomorrow night. And then Sunday, we got the IndyCar race.
I'm more excited about the NHL playoffs.
Well,
Preds made a push, man, but they fell just short.
Yeah, I know. They a couple games short. They 4 points out of the playoffs there.
Yeah, they made a good late season push, made entertaining games all the way to the end, but just didn't quite get in. Missed Derek Anderson. He was on KSR today.
I heard a lot of it. It was really good.
He was our very first guest on the Homers.
Was it?
Yeah,
it's a good one to have. He did good.
And I thought it was awesome. Yeah, Chris told me, he said, man, I know you don't listen to KSR much. You got to tune in for Derek Anderson. It just brought back memories. He was so good. And I don't know. That was the first interview I ever did in my life. And I just remember thinking, man, I just got to interview Derek.
There you go.
How did that happen?
Hey, big congratulations out there to Drew and Abby Franklin, their daughter.
Absolutely.
So congratulations, Drew. To completely change your life.
I was about to say, that's going to be a big change for old Drew.
It is going to be.
Good stuff, man. Congratulations out there to them. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll circle back. I'll be on the road Monday, but I will be here.
And we'll be live streaming.
And we'll be live streaming courtesy of More and More Browns Valley Trucking. We'll see you then. Live at 5.